Hi everybody, I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite things to do, and that's to give praise to Team Hvaldimir and talk about the success that we've had in the last year. And this year is even better than last year. And so I'm very proud of our team and want to share with you how Team Hvaldimir has made an impact for Hvaldimir over the last year. And I think everyone out there wants to know what the work brings, and especially if you've made donations, what your donations do for Hvaldimir to keep the team out there. He hasn't had any major injuries. Prior to Team Hvaldimir, he had extremely dangerous, life-threatening injuries from propellers, sharp objects, and other things. And with the initiation of the team, we have been able to keep him out of the farms a lot, and that in turn result in less injuries. I say this cautioning that he could be injured at any time because he is with boats and around propellers all the time, and so it could happen anytime. But the stability of keeping him out of farms has given him less opportunity for injuries. One of the best things that happened for Team Hvaldimir this year was that we raised the money for a full-time co-director, Sebastian Strand. And you guys have met him many times. Sebastian is a trained diver, he's a trained free diver, and he's a certified rescue diver. Not only that, he has a lot of experience with Hvaldimir and a relationship of trust between him and the whale. It's with this that not only do we get to give this amazing person to the salmon farms and to the locals to educate them, but we also get to give Hvaldimir a familiar face every day that he can rely on as well. Because whales are sensitive and they care about people, and so Hvaldimir has shown a great deal of improvement in many areas having Sebastian, namely being able to be taken out of the farms when needed. And of course, we wish he would do that on his own. We wish he would leave the farms on his own, but it's not happening. In 3 years, he has not left the salmon farms. So until he has a buffer between humans and himself, he probably is going to continue this behavior for the rest of his life. This next one is not so fun to talk about, but it's a reality, so we do have to talk about it. And that is that there was a kill permit requested for Hvaldimir this spring. And it wasn't by a government agency or a company, it was by a local who had accused Hvaldimir of damaging some water pipes that were underwater. Now, while we can't point a finger at Hvaldimir, we think he's innocent, of course, but perception becomes reality, and it was perceived that he had done the damage. And unfortunately, that in Norway would be cause to euthanize an animal, as we all know now. So we were thankful that our team was on site. We intercepted the angry individual and we smoothed over the situation. We alleviated the need for the kill permit, and we helped fix the water pipes, and that's thank you to Sebastian, our man in the wetsuit, which are no longer an issue now. So intercepting a kill permit, if that isn't the best thing our team did this year, I'd be surprised. I think it's probably the most significant thing that we did. Another important moment was when we were thanked by the harbor master in a very busy city. Hvaldimir had traveled by following a boat, as he usually does, into a really big, busy harbor. And every day there was a big influx of tourists coming to see him, some reckless boating behavior, people swimming with him, and we were able to reduce it a great deal just by being on site. So the harbor master not only thanked us, but asked us if we could stay around all the time until the whale moved on. Another thing that we learned this year by just strictly observing and taking data with Hvaldimir is that he has reduced his self-harming behavior. We've all seen this, we've posted videos of it, of him biting boats, chewing chains, and doing things that aren't good for him. And according to the salmon farmers that we work with, he does this to get their attention, they believe. And that seems in keeping with what we're finding too. What they told us is that when they called us to take the whale out of the farm, and he had that time and attention, he did less of biting the boat and acting out. So with less self-harm behavior, that just means a happy whale and less concern about him. Without question, Team Hvaldimир's biggest role is being a liaison to the salmon farms. Of course we have the tourists, and of course we have the whale, but there's no question that the most important factor here is the salmon farms. They have a job to do and they don't need a whale in their space. It's not safe for them to have the whale at certain times. By being there every single day without fail, including Christmas, we're able to create a relationship. And they see the same faces over and over again, and they trust us and they know we're gonna show up. So they can give us their schedule and call and ask us to be there on certain dates, or if there's already been a problem that they need help fixing, we are there within minutes. So the relationships that we've built with the salmon farm have, I think, been a key role in keeping Hvaldimir from being perceived as a problem. If you see Hvaldimir and you see that he is having a peaceful moment in the fjords, I think this is a result of a lot of hard work by the Team Hvaldimir team to keep him out of trouble. It's important to remember that that snapshot, if someone takes a picture of him on that day or visits him one day, or you see pictures online one day, is a very small snapshot of what this whole year brought. There were a lot of peaks and valleys, as you have heard, but more importantly, we want to just make sure that the future is sustainable. Right now, we have no indicators that Hvaldimir is going to change his behavior. He hasn't in 3 years. What we hope is that we can give him a true free life. He didn't choose to be in the fjords of Norway. This isn't his fault, and it's not his fault that he's a habituated trained whale. So it's our hope that we can give him a chance at that, to give him a reserve where he can then be free from the daily activities of being around tourists and around salmon farms, and start to unlearn some of that behavior. Ultimately, what we would like is that when he's ready, we'd like him to be released in the open ocean in a habitat where beluga whales belong. They obviously don't belong in these fjords. And so that's our goal, and we want to continue toward that goal. And the goal would be that we don't have a Team Hvaldimir anymore, because Hvaldimir would be living in the wild and not under a salmon farm boat. So that's our goal, and we're excited for the year to come, and hopefully that this may be the last annual Team Hvaldimir update if we are lucky.